In this video, I'm going to be going over 50 things that players hate in Ark. First off, we're going to start with something I think everyone can agree on, which is the Pegomastax. This thing is one of the worst creatures that's ever been added to this game, and I think I'd be fine if it weren't even in the game, to be completely honest. It basically just steals your stuff from you. It'll come and pounce on you, take your stuff. Usually it's your cryopod with your most useful dino in it. That's what it just tends to go for. Now it does steal stuff from your last item slot, so you can just make sure to not have something useful in there. But usually when they come in like packs of like 50 of them, and then they just keep stealing everything you have, or they just steal berries from you and then like insta-tame, and then now you just have a Pegomastax that you don't want. It's really annoying. Number 2 is when you're in your base and you accidentally do whistle follow all, and then all the creatures that you had perfectly lined up in your base, they just come running straight towards you, and now they're all just out of order and they're all flying around everywhere, getting stuck. All the flyers are flying off in their own direction, and it just sucks. And then you have to spend like 20 minutes reorganizing them. It's just an awful experience. Number 3 is when you die for like the second or third time, and then you have a bed cooldown that's like 5 minutes. And it's really annoying for me specifically, and for like PvE, because the whole reason that even exists, I'm pretty sure anyway, is for PvP players, so they can't just keep respawning over and over again on the same bed. But in PvE it does that too, and it kind of feels really annoying actually. I just die to something stupid, and then you go back trying to get your stuff back, and then you die again, and then it makes you wait 5 minutes. You just have to spawn a random spot. It's really frustrating. Number 4 is when you're flying near the water, and then even though you're not even that close to it, it just dismounts you off of it. Now, okay, in this clip I was actually pretty close to it, and the game decided to glitch too, and for some reason there's gravity underwater. Well, I guess there normally is gravity underwater, but like I just fell to the bottom of the ocean and took fall damage, which I don't think is supposed to happen. I'm just a little bit confused there, but yeah, usually you'll be flying near the water, you'll not even be that close to it, it'll kick you off, and then 50 megalodons just come out of nowhere and eat you alive while your bird is just a mile in the sky, because for some reason as soon as it hits the water it has to fly up like super high for no reason at all. And number 5 is getting swamp fever, and mainly like when you're playing on a server and then some random dude just runs up to you with swamp fever and coughs all over your face, and then now you have swamp fever, and then now you just got to deal with it, and there's no cure because you just started out, and now you have less stats. You have to listen to your guy cough every 5 seconds like he's Arthur Morgan, just going every 2 seconds. It is so infuriating. I remember when I first started out on Ark, I got swamp fever early on, and I didn't know how to cure it, and I had to listen to that all the time. It was ridiculous until I finally figured out how to make lesser antidote. To be fair, you can get it from drops now, the antidote, which is pretty awesome, because before you couldn't. You just had to make it, and you had to get leech blood. It was a whole thing. It was so annoying. So at least you can get them from drops, but getting swamp fever is just really annoying unless you're trying to specifically make a swamp fever build. Other than that, that sucks. Next up at number 6 is when you're trying to get a flyer to land by doing whistle land, and they just fly across the map and just land in a completely nowhere. Sometimes they'll just go fly into like a pack of raptors, because why not? What's the fun of it? Or you're just at your base trying to get them to land, and then they just go outside your base and go land somewhere else. Now of course, now that I actually want to get footage for this, it never happened. I'd whistle land, and they would actually just go straight down and land right at my feet. I've never seen that happen in my entire time of playing Ark, but now that I actually want to get a video of this thing that happens like 24/7, now it doesn't happen at all, and the flyers land perfectly. It's so annoying. I don't know why this game is like this. And number 7 is jellyfish. I don't really like them, or I don't like getting stung by them, I should say, because as soon as you touch them or get anywhere near them, you instantly get dismounted. Whatever you're riding gets stunned, so they can't attack back, and you're kind of just having to sit there, and you're kind of screwed. And almost every creature underwater, even like the mosasaur and stuff, gets stung, meaning the only creature you can really use underwater is the Basilow, because it has an immunity to being stung, which means it makes it like the only viable creature because there's so much jellyfish in the sea. It's kind of ridiculous, honestly. And number 8 is when they make aggressive passive tames. Now, I insta-tamed this one because my settings are really high, but things like the eels, they're insanely aggressive, and they're passive tames for some reason. And like the eel, there's not really a way to make it not attack you. So if you don't have like insta tame settings on, you're kind of screwed for the eel. I think there's like one method to do it, but most of these tames are really annoying. Most of them you can use like ghillie suits or stuff, but I don't know. Lots of them, I don't understand why they make the most aggressive creatures in the game passive tames and not, the passive tames, like hence the name, but I don't know, whatever. I guess they don't do that. And number 9 is when you get a saddle blueprint that just has an unreasonable cost for something. Like this saddle right here, just the cheap cost of 60,000 cementing paste, 4,000 silica pearls, 51,000 hide, 64,000 metal, and 40,000 fiber. You should have that lying around in your base. No worries at all. I mean, it's not like you can even make that in a smithy or anything. It's not like you can fit all that in a smithy to begin with. So most of these blueprints are like impossible to make. Like maybe you could fit all that in Tech Replicator, but I don't even think you could in that. Like this is just insane. Number 11 is when you're trying to have something whistle follow you and they just don't follow you at all. Well, they do follow you, but they just get stuck on every rock imaginable and just are being so dumb. Of course, with everything else in this video, when I try to actually get a video of it, the creatures that are following me just walk around entire mountains and walk up to me perfectly fine. Like, I've literally never seen a creature do that before. The pathfinding is always terrible, except for when I'm trying to get a video of them getting stuck on everything, they don't do it. But literally, if you've played the game, you know how following works. You know that they just get stuck on everything and it never works, and it's really annoying. Number 12 is when you're hatching creatures and you're trying to imprint them, and then it asks for something like completely ridiculous. Like it asks for superior kibble or, I don't know, giga egg, something just absolutely stupid that you don't have. And usually it's like in the early game where you just are trying to get some imprinting off, and then it just asks for some crazy kibble or like a mind wipe tonic. I don't think they ask for that, but usually it feels like they ask for crazy things like that, and then you don't have them. And then I don't think the cryopod thing works anymore, where you cryopod them and throw them back out to reset it. Like that doesn't really work anymore, so you should have to deal with it. Number 13 is when you're doing a passive tame and a creature just comes out of nowhere and decides to attack it, and then it goes from almost being completely done to just resetting all the way back to 0, and your tame's completely screwed. It is infuriating, especially when you've been there for like 10 or 20 minutes taming this passive tame, and now it's all gone. All that progress you just spent was for nothing. Number 14 is when you make a brand new set of armor just for an Arthro to come and spit on you and instantly break it in like one shot. It is so annoying. Next is when you find a 150 tame of something that you've really been looking for, just for like a giant Giga to come out and just kill it in like 2 bites. You've been looking for hours, going around trying to find a 150 of whatever creature you're trying to find, and that's it. When you do find it, it just gets killed by something stupid. The other day, I found like a 145 Dinotherium, and I was literally went to my base to go get the stuff to tame it. I came back and it's being attacked by an Alpha Skeletal Carno that killed. I tried saving it, but I couldn't because the Dinotherium also started attacking me while it was being attacked by the Alpha Carno. It was ridiculous and it's so annoying. Fish. So you have to go out and you have to go kill just fish, which normally I wouldn't be doing in Ark at any time. I have tons of raw meat on me, usually not fish meat though, so I have to go out of my way to go get fish meat just to feed them. And then when you're on a server, all that fish meat spoils by the time the next day comes around, so I have to go out killing fish every day just to feed my fish dinos, or my piscivores, or fish eaters, whatever you want to call them. Number 17 is when you log in and your map just gets reset. Like, why does it still do this? I don't know, but it sucks because I'll have a map fully explored, so I feel like I shouldn't have to do it. Okay, this next one I don't have any footage of, but it's Host Tether. It's really annoying. Now, I don't have to deal with this much anymore, but when I started playing Ark, it was a really annoyance. But like, if you're playing with somebody either split screen or you're just playing single player and you make it like a host, not dedicated, you need to deal with Host Tether, where you can only go like 5 feet away from the host and then you'll be pulled back. There's been times where I'm playing and I'm trying to like tame something or do something, and since the host is moving, it like slingshots me across the whole map just to go back to them. And there's been times where I get slingshotted off a cliff and then just die from fall damage, and it's like, why? I mean, I feel like they could make the range a little bit bigger. I understand why it needs to be in there, but it's never gonna not be frustrating. Number 19 is when you're flying around and you accidentally just press E or triangle, and now you're just falling to your death and you're dead while you're flying, and it's all just like in the span of a split second. Now you can't save yourself if you bring parachutes, which I would recommend, but if you didn't, you're screwed. You're just gonna die. Number 20 is when you're super excited for a new map to come to the game and it gets delayed. This happens literally every map. The only map that hasn't been delayed is Lost Island. No, Lost Colony's definitely been delayed. But yeah, they delay every update, so if you didn't know that, well, you're gonna need to get used to it because it happens every time. Number 21 is when you're just starting out and you make a brand new spear and then you hit something with it and it just breaks on the first stab. I don't know why spears have like a RNG durability, like nothing else in the game does that. Except there might be a couple things, but like I don't understand why the spear does that specifically. It's just a random amount of hits. Now, of course, it's impossible for me to get footage of this, but it happens all the time, except for when I want it to happen. And at number 22 is when they add these new event creatures, and they're like super overpowered, and they spawn in the beaches and stuff. So when you spawn in as a new player, you're kind of just screwed. Like the zombie Dodas and the Fear of All event, they have like over 1,000 health, which isn't that bad if you're have dinos. But if you're just starting out, it makes it almost impossible to kill them. It's gonna take you like 5 or 10 minutes just to kill one of them, and there's like an army of them, and they're all aggressive. It's not like they're just neutral and only attack you if you do. Like they just come up to you and they just kill you, and there's nothing you can do. So starting out during an event is probably the worst time to start the game. Number 23 is when you're trying to harvest something and a dino just comes up behind you or near you, and then it hits it, and then it just starts attacking you and kills you almost instantly. Even though you weren't even trying to hit it, you were just harvesting something, minding your own business, and now there's a creature attacking you that you can't kill. Number 24 is why is the Forest Titan Dermis just missing his arms? I understand that you can hit his arms off when you're fighting him, but that doesn't mean the Dermis needs to look like that. And he's got all these poses, and he's like doing these poses where you can tell like his arms are in it, but they're not there, so he just looks stupid. It really does suck. I don't know why they didn't change this in Arc Travel Ascended either, because the Dermis could be so cool, but it's just ruined by the fact that his arms are missing. At number 25 is Microraptors. I mean, I don't think there's a single person in this game that enjoys being hit by a Microraptor, stunned, and then there being 50 creatures that just immediately come and attack you and kill you as soon as you get stunned and hit the ground. It's one of the most frustrating things in this game, and man, they're so annoying. Number 26 is when you go in the ocean and there's just a million Megalodons, and this literally always happens. There's like a million Megalodon spawns for no reason at all. Well, I think there is a reason, but I don't like the reason. It doesn't matter what the reason is. It's annoying. You just touch the water and you've got 50 Megalodons coming in right at you. It's like you can't even enjoy being in the water because you're just going to get attacked from Megalodon. And they aggro on you from so far away. Like, they'll literally come from a mile away. Basically, every Megalodon in render distance is going to come and attack you for no reason at all. It's so annoying. Number 27 is when you see a red drop, so you fly across the whole map to go get it, and you open it up, and it's like the dumbest thing ever, like a medium crop plot blueprint. Obviously, I don't think they can be that bad, but they can be pretty bad. These loot drops can give you some terrible stuff, and it's like you just wasted all that time flying over here just to get it. Number 28 is when you get the reload glitch where you're trying to tame something. It's always when you're trying to tame something. And then it just doesn't reload your gun even though you have ammo, and then you have to like pull it out and back out again, and it still doesn't work, and then you're just sitting there not being able to shoot it when you really need to be shooting it. I don't want to know why this big bug hasn't been fixed yet. It's been like 10 years. Number 29 is when you got the perfect 150 tame knocked out, and then a creature comes over there and just starts hitting it and completely ruins the taming effectiveness. This is just one of the worst feelings in the game. It has been a little bit fixed now that the sushi exists, but if you don't have that, then you're screwed. And before the sushi came out, we literally just had to wait for it to wake up back up again, and then do the tame all over again, just because one thing hit it. Sometimes it could be something as small as a little bug snuck up behind you and hit it, and then that ruins the tame. Number 30 is when you're dealing with these new bison, and they can just dismount you completely, and they're all super strong and in huge packs. And they deal so much damage, so basically as soon as you get dismounted, you are completely screwed. Like, you're just gonna die. It is These things are absolutely deadly, and I think the fact that they can dismount and stun you is the worst part of it. I'm up in the air, and then now, like, your flyer is just slowly going back down, and it, like, takes its time to fly down. And then at some points, it'll even just stop midair, and then, like, he just won't go down at all. And it will just sit in that one spot, barely flapping its wings. You have to, like, jump off just to get to the ground, so that way it'll fly down. Like, I don't know why it won't just fly down. Of course, when I'm trying to get a video of this happening, it doesn't do that, but it does still. You like wait forever for it to fly down. Either way, it is kind of frustrating. Number 32 is when you're trying to build something and you go to place it down and it just places in a completely different spot from when it showed you. And it always does this like in a spot where you can't reach it, so you're gonna have to like go fly up there or go build a ladder just to get up there and fix it, because the game told you it was gonna place it right here. And then you place it and then it just moves it somewhere else because, I don't know, maybe the game thought it would be better if it was right there. But it's really annoying sometimes when it does this. And number 33 is when you take your time to go kill a creature for prime meat for a tame, and then an RG just swoops down and starts eating it as soon as you kill it. And it's like you don't even have time to harvest the body at all, so you gotta try and kill it, but you can't kill the RG because it's getting healing from the body that it's eating, that it stole from you. And it's insanely frustrating when this happens. It's usually just in the early game because it's really hard to kill stuff sometimes, so you spend all this time killing a big creature for prime and then RG just steals it. Number 34 is Purlovias. These things are also very annoying. Not as bad as like Microraptors or something because you're on the ground, but still, getting dismounted and stunned for 10 seconds is really frustrating every time it happens. And usually your creature is just like being really stupid and it's not attacking it back, and then you're trying to ride it and it's stunned too, and it's always just a big mess every time. Number 35 is when you can't cryopod a creature because it was damaged recently. Really annoying too for me because I play on PvE, so I feel like this doesn't really matter that much if it was damaged, but I still get punished for it. And usually like everything around me dead, I'm just waiting for the cooldown to be done, and it's like 30 seconds, but it feels like an eternity. Number 36 is when you're swimming across a like little pond and then 50 piranhas just come and eat you alive. And there's always like 100 of them in these tiny little lakes for no reason at all. It doesn't make any sense. And they do so much damage to you in the early game. It's kind of ridiculous. You just can't cross any little pond or lake. Number 37 is when you're trying to do something like in a storage or a crafting station and you just click transfer all. And now all of those resources are in your inventory and it mixes up with all your stuff. And you can't just transfer it all back in there because you have a bunch of stuff in your inventory too that wasn't supposed to be in there. So you gotta like go and individually go put it all back in because you have so much stuff on you. And it's really bad. This clip makes it doesn't seem like it's that bad, but when you have a ton of stuff on you and then a ton of stuff in the inventory and it all mixes together, it's terrible. 38 is when you're flying through the redwoods biome and then you've got a Thyla that just leaps from a tree, goes across, and just takes you out completely. It just grabs you. It's really annoying because now your flyer's like a mile away from you because it like shoots across the map to grab you, and then you land somewhere else, and you try shooting it and usually your gun like is just tickling it for some reason. Even though you have a ascendant weapon, your gun's doing like 5 damage to it. Don't know why. And it's pretty bad. Getting caught by a Thyla in the redwoods is not fun at all. 39 is when you're trying to upgrade some stats and you accidentally upgrade food or water. It is terrible. You just wasted one of your points for no reason. There's like no reason at all you should be upgrading food or water. Even though there might be some people in the comments that say it's worth it. It's not worth it. There's so many better things you could be upgrading with your points. And then doing all your points all over again, which especially if you're in the early game is going to take you quite a while before you can get to that point. Number 40 is when you're going to craft something and you accidentally click craft all without realizing it. And usually you're playing with your friends or something, you're talking to them, you don't even realize it. And then you look back and you realize you just crafted like 50 of one item and you just wasted all the resources you have on it and you don't even need it. Like, what do you need 10 cloth hats for? Of course, cloth hats, it's not that bad because it just takes fiber, but you could do this sometimes with really bad stuff. Like maybe you craft multiple different saddles of something you don't need, or you craft the same structure a million times when you only needed one of them. And number 41 is Capros. Basically, as soon as you come to the swamp, you immediately get pounced on by one of these Capros that just get you, and then you're pretty much dead. They just kill you. And then since they're like in your mouth, it's like one of the worst ones because they can dismount you. You're stuck in your mouth until they kill you. Well, I think they drop you at some point, but usually by then you're already dead. And the most annoying part about this is when I go to get footage of it, I spent like 10 minutes trying to get footage of it because every time the Capro would just miss me or get stuck in a wall. Of course, like I said, now that I'm trying to get a video of this stuff, the Capros are just brain dead and can't do it. But like every other time, they're just like locking onto me like they're the Predator or something. And they're on Scorched Earth too, and it's really annoying. I don't know why they're on Scorched Earth, but they just added them, I guess, because they wanted to make that map even more annoying. So now they pounce on you too there. It's the Capros are the worst. Number 42 is you are knocking something out. You know, it's a nice like 150, 145 tame, and then as it knocks out, you shoot it on accident because you didn't think it was about to pass out, but instead you just shot it and you ruined the taming effectiveness. So it's pretty bad. Of course, this one is your fault, unlike a creature coming and attacking it, but it still feels pretty terrible when you just shoot it while it's knocking down and you just ruin the taming effectiveness because of it. Number 43 is fog. Especially on the island. Like, just look at this clip here. This is absolutely ridiculous. You can't even see in front of you. I'm going in first person on the RG. I can't even see the RG. Now, this one, there actually is a permanent fix for it, if you'd want. You can type these two commands in, and it works on servers too. And then that's going to get rid of clouds and fog. So that'll make your life a lot easier, especially if you're getting caught up in the fog, especially on the island. Number 44 is when a spawn zone says it's easy, and it's actually like the hardest spawn zone on the whole map. I'm specifically calling out Portal and Aberration here, but also the bog biome on Genesis Part 1. Both of those, they say easy, and they're actually like the hardest spots on the entire map. I guess maybe not for Genesis, because the volcanic biome is a spawn point on there, I think. But, you know, on Aberration, Portal is the worst because there's no water at all, and it spawns basilisks, raptors, and all kinds of dangerous stuff, so you're basically just gonna be dying of thirst while being killed by all these crazy powerful creatures. Just whatever you do, don't spawn in Portal on Aberration. Number 45 is when your character is just always starving for like no reason at all, and like you'll feed him, you'll eat 5 pieces of cooked meat, and then literally like 2 seconds later he's starving again, and then it just keeps happening over and over again. It's like you're in the middle of trying to do something and your character just keeps starving. And then eventually you just run out of food, so you just start starving to death. But the only reason you ran out of food is because you used all your stack of 50 in like 5 seconds because your guy just keeps starving for no reason at all. It's so infuriating. Number 46 is when you go to knock out a creature that you've been wanting to tame and it passes out in the water. If this happens, you're just completely screwed because it's going to drown to death. I mean, unless it's like something that can breathe underwater, like a berry, but usually it's like a flyer, like a Quetzal or something you're trying to tame, and it just lands straight in the water, and now it's just gonna suffocate, and there's nothing you can do about it. Number 47 is when you go into a cave, and then the bats come and just give you rabies, and you're screwed, because, you know, rabies just takes away your health super fast, so it means you're gonna die super quickly. I remember when they announced they were adding rabies, they said it was just coming to the Megalania, and I was scared about that, but no, they added it to bats, which is like 50 times worse than that, because you rarely even see Megalania. So now bats just give you rabies all the time, and if you forget the lesser antidote, then you're completely screwed, which has happened to me way too many times than I'd like to admit, and then I end up just having to run out of the cave and dying, or I just die in the cave, and now I'm just completely screwed. Number 48 is when you're in the middle of trying to do something important, and then a Yutyrannus just comes out and fear roars your dino, and now it's fear roared for like 10 or 15 seconds, just flying in a random direction, and your creature always manages to go fly in the worst direction possible and fly as far away as it possibly can from where you are, so it kind of screws up whatever you're trying to do. Usually it's like a tame or something that you're trying to do. Now you've like lost it, and yeah, it's pretty frustrating. And number 49 is when they make an event where the main point of the event is to go fishing to get the items. Like, they're just forcing you to go fish. I'm calling out the Love Evolved event specifically on this one. But I really don't want to fish in Ark. I mean, I love fishing in real life. It's really fun there, but not in Ark. I don't play Ark to go sit in a virtual chair and just sit there with a fishing rod to go fishing when I could be doing so much cooler stuff, so much better stuff with my time in Ark. You know, I could get tame dinosaurs. I don't know. Do anything other than fishing. It's all for like those event skins anyway. It's like I don't want to have to be forced to do that. And finally, at number 50, I've saved the worst for last. It is the Ichthyornis. I have a burning hatred for this animal. Uh, it just sits around, swoops down, steals your stuff. It's always your food. I've literally had it when I was taming a Therizinosaurus one time, and it swooped down and stole 100 narcotics, which was all my narcotics I needed to tame it, and then just ate all of them in a second. You know, it didn't pass out or anything, because that would make sense. But the worst thing about these things is they're so annoying. They spawn all over the beaches, and they're so hard to kill because they're flying around, and you try and shoot them. And usually you have like a bow or something, or a crossbow, and in the early game, and you're trying to shoot them, and they just dodge all the bullets. And then they're also like coming and swooping by your base and just picking at your dinos too for no reason. These guys are some of the worst things that they've ever added to the game. They frustrate me to no end. That's gonna be it for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure to leave a like and also subscribe. Also wanted to mention, this isn't like, you know, me saying the game's terrible or me hating on the game, even though I might feel like that in this video. Just poking a little bit of fun at some of the frustrating things in this game sometimes. Also, this is my first video I made on my PC, if you can believe that. I've been making all the videos on PlayStation and editing them on PlayStation. Even though I did like making videos on console, I think I need to like step it up when it comes to the editing, and so I'm gonna try making some videos on PC. So anyway, with that being said, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe, and bye.